Scotty 722. So Alden Davis is here. What is it? MyValueTree.com is the website. And we're going to talk about a little something. And this is kind of an interesting story because I guess, Alden, the deal is, you want to start with your tree story, or how are you going to start this?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. I mean, today's topic, everyone, and good morning, is down to the bark. Now, remember, each weekend we talk about star power, 5-point model designed to help us thrive in these uncertain times. And today we're going to talk about what to do when you feel down to the bark.
What's that mean?
Well, so here's the story. A few weeks ago, I was cutting down some trees in the backyard, doing my manly thing with the chainsaw, and dropped some trees to clear a view. And I go back in a few weeks, lo and behold, I see everything's growing again. And I go, how is this possible? I dropped the tree.
It's done.
So upon closer examination, even though the tree was cut all the way across the base, when it fell over, there was still some bark that was attached. There was a little piece of bark. And if you go to the website, you can actually see a picture of it. I put it out there.
There it is.
But with that small portion of bark connected, the tree continued to grow. And that is our hope and message for today. When you feel like you've been dropped to the ground, when you've been dropped to your knees, if you're hearing my voice this morning, the bark is still connected. So if you've experienced the self-esteem deflation that can come from losing a job, if your checkbook is empty and the bills continue, if tensions are increasing in your family, if you are de-spirited and out of will to continue searching for jobs that are seemingly not there, if you're feeling trapped and can't see the way out, if you're listening to us this morning, take heart. Your bark is still connected.
Now, you wanted to tie this into Viktor Frankl, right?
Well, I did. Now, Viktor Frankl is a man who endured life experiences that none of us will ever see. He survived the horrors of the concentration camps of World War II. And through it all, he developed a new form of psychotherapy called logotherapy, focused on the meanings to be created in the person's future.
Okay.
So a lot of these discussions are about the role suffering plays in our life. And I wanted to read a passage from the book to you this morning that I think clearly makes this point.
Okay.
The prisoner who had lost faith in the future, his future was doomed. With his loss of belief in the future, he also lost his spiritual hold. He let himself decline and became subject to mental and physical decay. I remember a personal experience. Almost in tears from pain, I limped a few kilometers with our long column of men from the camp to our work site. Very cold, bitter winds struck us. I kept thinking of the endless little problems of our miserable life. What would there be to eat tonight if a piece of sausage came as an extra ration? Should I exchange it for a piece of bread? Should I trade my last cigarette, which was left from a bonus I received a fortnight ago, for a bowl of soup? How could I get a piece of wire to replace the fragment which served as one of my shoelaces? Would I get to our work site in time to join my usual working party, or would I have to join another which might have a brutal foreman? What could I do to get on good terms with the capo who could help me obtain work in camp instead of undertaking this horribly long march each day? I became disgusted with the state of affairs which compelled me, daily and hourly, to think of only such trivial things. I forced my thoughts to turn to another subject. Suddenly, I saw myself standing on the platform of a well-lit, warm, and pleasant lecture room. In front of me sat an attentive audience on comfortable, upholstered seats. I was giving a lecture on the psychology of the concentration camp. All that oppressed me at that moment became objective, seen and described from the remote viewpoint of science. By this method, I succeeded somehow in rising above the situation, above the sufferings of the moment, and I observed them as if they were already of the past. It is a peculiarity of man that he can only live by looking to the future, and this is his salvation in the most difficult moments of his existence, although he sometimes has to force his mind to the task. And I would like to say, when you are feeling down to the bark, there is still life in you, and focus on the future. And that is our hope for today. Life finds a way. The shoot comes forth. Persevere, have hope in the future, and pursue your vision with star power.
I like this. No, okay, so this is actually in direct contrast to an existential point of view, where it's the moment.
Well, and that's what, you read through his book, which describes the whole experience, and that's constantly the discussion between existentialism and finding meaning in the moment. He had a great statement here that says, It's not about It's not about asking the question, "What is the meaning of life?" But rather, instead, to think of ourselves as those who are being questioned by life, and what meaning can I find in life? This is about my responsibility for the situation. It's about for my discovery of the meaning of the situation I'm in. So when there are a lot of people unemployed, you really can feel like you are down and out.
Absolutely.
And when you can't find work, and the point is, what is the meaning in this situation that I can find? And get my eyes on the future and visualize and see myself there. So everybody, if you can hear us this morning, the bark is still connected.
And these are our days.
And these are our days.
They are. Come on, get there.
Go out to Star Power. You've got the copy of what I just read there. And have a great week.
All right, we'll see you next week. 7:28. Okay, Sam, where's the